Hey guys, Adam here from DirectionTrader.com. Let's go over today's markets, today's wild ride in the markets, and talk about what I see going into tomorrow. Well, if you remember when we left the trading room, actually what do we have up here? We have crude up here now. We'll cover crude in a minute. I'm going to just blow this up so it gets a little bit bigger so we can see a little bit better. When you left the room, let's go to the S&P here. When we left the room this morning, we talked about these market internals down below. And we had the net issues, which is basically the advanced decline, depending on what platform you're using, down around like minus 1,200 and even weaker. But here in the S&P, we were remaining pretty much flat on the day. So, going into lunch here at 11 o'clock, I said, guys, I'm really interested in seeing if we can get this market to tank. Because these internals staying as bearish as they are, the market's staying flat, it just doesn't make sense. Something's got to break. Either we got to get this thing to break through to the upside, or this thing's going to go ahead and join these market internals and see a tank. Well, we got both. We ended up getting a nice little sell-off here in the market. I did get involved. As I told you guys, if any type of sell-off I can get here, I'm going to try and get involved. I made like 17 ticks in the Russell, 20 ticks in the Russell, but I was only able to get one little opportunity there. Wasn't able to continue simply because we ran out of steam. We took kind of this pullback here for some profits on the Russell. Looks a little differently, but pretty much the same here. And we just kind of ran out of steam. That's when the internals started to make the move here. They actually got all the way back up here near zero as we were starting this climb all afternoon back to the upside. Now, there is one thing that I'm kind of interested in. This little push up here that you see on the S&P, that actually came with an increase in volume, which is very interesting. We're pushing into that resistance, right into that resistance. As you see here, we have it marked up here on our anchor chart, but that actually came with high volume into that resistance. So, with all this being said, adds a lot of confusion to the market. So, going into tomorrow, being that we were able to rally here on some pretty good volume, any type of pop-up tomorrow, I'm going with it. Absolutely any type of pop-up, I'm going to go with it. I'm not going to be hesitant with it. Going into today, I was looking for a short. Sure enough, we just had a doji, so the only trade I took in the indexes today actually came after the lunchtime. We traded crude in the live trading room this morning for some profits. But going into tomorrow, I'm going to be a little bit more open-minded. If we start to see any type of rally, I'm going to go with it. I'm looking to the upside. I'm going to go with this thing. Now, mind you, if we open up tomorrow and volume increases and sells off, you guys know I'm always willing to use. There's resistance here. We're still holding resistance. So for us to just go ahead and say we're bullish is absolutely, it's kind of asinine. It's kind of ridiculous because we're at resistance. What do you do at resistance? You short. So any shorting opportunity, I'm going to short in the trading room. But unlike today where I was a little bit hesitant, I wasn't willing to go in and do any long trading, tomorrow is going to be a little different. We stayed down at like minus 1,200, very, very bearish on the market internals today, and the price of the indexes went basically nowhere. And then again, as we went into the afternoon session, and we started to test this resistance, we had an increase of volume. So we had some interest in getting this market to push to the upside. So going into tomorrow, if we can get any type of push higher, anything at all, I'm going to be the first one in line to get on this market to the long side. Now, I don't want to basically get people long because we're still at resistance, guys. Let's call a spade here. We are still at resistance. We have not broken anything. So I'm going to wait patiently. If we can break higher, I'm going to go with it. Sorry, there's the bell. If we can break higher, I'm going to go with it. But let's call a spade. If we have any type of selling, drop down. And we talk about it all the time here in the trading room. These are my absolute most favorite times to trade. Anytime we're at a support or resistance or a major level, these are the absolute best times to trade. You get some really awesome bounces, some pretty good volume, and you get some really good activity in the market. So tomorrow's going to be Thursday. We have unemployment coming out in the morning. We have some news coming out in the morning pre-market. So that's kind of interesting for us, but I am going to be interested in the live trading in the trading room here with the indexes to see if we can get them to push one way or another. Let me quickly pop over to the Russell and show you. Sorry about that, guys. Let me quickly pop over here to the Russell and show you what we're looking at here. The Russell is still the one that's holding down a little bit. We're not necessarily sitting up at the previous day's highs. We're kind of just oscillating here. Inside, we have an inside day all day. So any selling, there's a chance I'm going to be looking towards the Russell tomorrow or the S&P, depending on if it can get some sell-off. The NASDAQ is holding this thing up tremendously, guys. If you look at Apple, Apple's shooting to the moon, holding that NASDAQ up, which could be holding the market up. Just not getting any selling here when we're at resistance. So I'm either going to anticipate some high volume selling or I'm looking to the long side here, and we're going to go ahead and resume our trend. How far that's going to go, not real sure. And before we end tonight, I wanted to touch on crude, simply because that's where all our trading happened tonight, guys. We did all our trading on crude today. Basically got some really good trading opportunities here, made some money here on crude just on the downside. What happened was, as crude was dropping, our first short actually came right in this area. So as we dropped down below, there was a major level we were looking for. Pulled back, we shorted for a nice little short there. And then actually as market came back up and retested this, we had this micro here to the long side. It's not very good chart here, but we took another short here just after the 10 o'clock time, only for a little 5-tick winner because we saw the price was no longer selling off. We kept holding support. We ended up taking 5 ticks out of it, and then it trickled its way up. We're still holding our resistance, though. That's what I'm trying to get at here. We have these highs, we have these lows, and we're still holding this resistance on this pullback. So going into tomorrow, I'm going to look to see if we can push above that and start to get another push back up to the resistance, which is up here a little bit higher, or we're going to hold and start selling again, get back down inside of this channel that we've been dealing with all day. That's been kind of the driving force of some of our trading today, or we're going to get back down there and then start some selling here going into tomorrow. So, guys, got a little long-winded here. Had some really great trading, though, guys. It was a fun day, even though it was a little bit quiet on the indexes early on. We were able to trade the crude here, and then this afternoon we had the sell-off. I was able to take the Russell for a couple $100, and then it just ran out of steam. It just kind of stopped and then trickled its way higher just to grab some more volume into the close. So this is kind of a coin flip right now, guys. I am back to the point to where we're bullish above the resistance. Obviously, any type of selling, I'm going to sell it. But if we happen to pop up here tomorrow, I am officially willing to go long if we get above these resistance and be a little bit aggressive here, simply because we were unable to push off and sell through the short side in the indexes. It's a very, very interesting time, guys, and I'm glad I'm a day trader. That way I can manage here on a little bit smaller scale, and I'm not trying to pick the next swing in the market. So that's it, guys, for me. If you have any questions, get a hold of me, adam@directiontrader.com. If not, you can leave a comment below these videos. I am the one that responds to the video or the comments, so you can write a comment. So get a hold of me if you need to. If not, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.